Hi. So, continuing on the theme of secret societies, um, we spoke last time about Skull and Bones and all the other secret societies, but the biggest one being the Freemasons, right? Now, to illuminate, excuse the pun, the dominance of these people on our society and the world in general. I have a list here, it's so long, and this is by no means exhaustive. This is just guys that you would probably recognize, okay? Or famous Freemasons, just to show you how dominant they are in everyday society. At the very top of every aspect of our lives are these guys, okay? Now, without further ado, let's get into it. Now, as you know, the United States was founded by Freemasons. The entire idea of the United States of America. The founding fathers were all, well, a lot of them were Freemasons, right? The whole the whole situation around which Washington is built, like by Freemasons, everything. George Washington himself was a Freemason. Okay, so now here, most of the founding fathers, as I said, of the United States were Freemasons. Now, you have George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin, Robert R. Livingston, John Hancock, Paul Revere, Thomas Nelson Jr., Eldridge Gerry. That's just among them, okay? And then a whole lot of presidents of the United States, okay? No less than 15 out of them, and there could be more, but these are the ones who are known to be Freemasons, okay? We have President James Monroe, Andrew Jackson, James K. Polk, James Buchanan, Andrew Johnson, James A. Garfield, William McKinley, Theodore Roosevelt, William Howard Taft, Warren G. Harding, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, Harry S. Truman, Lyndon B. Johnson, Gerald Ford. Those are known presidents of the United States who were Freemasons. Okay? And then we have military rulers or military leaders. George C. Marshall, General George C. Marshall of the Marshall Plan. You heard about the Marshall Plan after World War II, right? It's named after him, George C. Marshall. General Douglas MacArthur, the guy who took over Japan after World War II. J. Edgar Hoover. That just goes without saying, right? John S. McCain Sr. and Jr., both grandfather and father respectively of John McCain, U.S. Senator and 2008 presidential candidate, remember him? Those guys were Freemasons, but he wasn't, apparently, okay? He is not, because he's still alive. The entire British royal family, okay? Actually, most of the European royalty are in the Freemasons as well. Silvio Berlusconi, President of Italy, Freemason. Simon Bolivar, who led Bolivia, Colombia, Ecuador, Panama, and Venezuela to independence, Freemason. Hatoyama Ichiro, he's former Prime Minister of Japan, and he's the grandfather to Yukio Hatoyama, the previous Prime Minister of Japan. His mother, by the way, Hatoyama's mother, this current guy, is the heir to Bridgestone. You know Bridgestone, the tire company, that massive tire, multi-billion-dollar company. Okay, if his mother is heir, he's heir after that, right? Right. King Hussein of Jordan, Cecil John Rhodes, Mr. Cape to Cairo, let's rule the world, why don't we? Archbishop Desmond Tutu. This, I'm not entirely sure about because I only found it on one list. But I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, the guy's so influential, right? So, Winston Churchill. W.E.B. Du Bois. Now, this dude, okay, you might be thinking, okay, what's this dude doing on this list? But he was a Freemason, okay? He was once referred to by Marcus Garvey as purely and simply a white man's nigger, and a little Dutch, a little French, a little Negro, a mulatto, a monstrosity. That's what Garvey said about Du Bois. Booker T. Washington, Medgar Evers, remember the movie Mississippi Burning? It was based on him. Jesse Jackson, Kwesi Mfume, Charles B. Rangel, you know, the member of Congress, the guy who's in a little bit of shit now, but then he got out of it very lightly. It was just a slap on the hand. Melvin Jones, founder of Lions Clubs International. You know Lions Clubs International, right? All over the world. Those are like politicians or guys who are involved in politics, okay? Entertainers, authors, and sports stars. Aleister Crowley, known Satanist, okay? Major figure in Freemasonry, 33rd degree Freemason. Harry M., Jack L., and Samuel L. Warner, film producers and founders of Warner Brothers. Leopold and Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Leopold was his father, but Mozart, Amadeus, Masons. Johann Christian Bach, Ludwig van Beethoven, Johannes Brahms, Nat King Cole, Louis Armstrong, William Count Basie, Duke Ellington, Lionel Hampton, jazz greats. Okay. Actors: Ernest Borgnine, Richard Pryor, Telly Savalas, Peter Sellers, John Wayne, Clark Gable, Cecil B. DeMille. Cecil B. DeMille, that guy who made those epics, Moses. Mel Blanc, the voice of cartoon characters, Bugs Bunny, Elmer Fudd, Barney Rubble of the Flintstones, Daffy Duck, Porky Pig, Sylvester the Cat. Michael Bagent, okay, those are actors. Michael Bagent is an author, co-author of The Holy Blood and the Holy Grail. The Holy Blood and the Holy Grail is a book that the Da Vinci Code is based on. Along with Henry Lincoln and Richard Lee, but they are not Masons. Only Michael Bagent is the Mason. Mark Twain, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, Sherlock Holmes, the writer of Sherlock Holmes. Alex Haley, the guy who wrote Ruth. John H. Johnson, publisher of Ebony and Jet magazine. Rudyard Kipling, The Jungle Book. Erasmus Darwin, grandfather of Charles Darwin. Alexander Pope, Oscar Wilde, the Ringling Brothers, those circus guys. Harry Houdini, Arnold Palmer, Willie Mays, James Naismith, the guy who invented basketball. Red Auerbach, record-winning NBA coach. Penny Hardaway and Scottie Pippen, all know those guys, right? Superstar basketball players. Scientists and adventurers. Sir Christopher Wren, John Glenn, and Buzz Aldrin, those are astronauts. Sir Christopher Wren is an architect, St. Paul's in London. Charles Lindbergh, the guy who first crossed the Atlantic. Sir Ernest Shackleton, one of the first guys to go down to the Arctic. Matthew Henson. This guy, Matthew Henson, was the sole companion of Robert Peary, who himself was also a Mason, when he discovered the North Pole in 1909. So Alexander Fleming, British bacteriologist who discovered penicillin in 1928. Well, I'm allergic to penicillin, so I hate that motherfucker. Richard J. Gatling, inventor of the Gatling gun. Joseph Ignace Guillotine. Right? We all know what the guillotine is. Okay. So those are the